Hi everyone, a very warm welcome and thank you for joining us today. I'm Rajkumar, Senior Executive Business Development at Raptim Research, and I will be your moderator and host today. And the trio Raptim, Velocious, Vemedu all have unique abilities, and Raptim with 20 years of clinical operation and global regulatory expertise, and Velocious with deep understanding in clinical data management, and Vemedu in cutting-edge technology provider with global accreditation, and all these three companies collaborated and has delivered multiple successful projects with speed, quality, and optimal resources. Here is how we have planned the flow of today's webinar. A quick introduction with RTSM and overview by Dr. Nicola, founder of Remodu. Real-world case study from Dr. Dheeraj, director of Velocious, and at last we will do the question answer session. So this is my request to audience: don't be shy, keep typing your queries in the chat box, and we will discuss them at the last of the session. So the floor is now with for Dr. Nicola. Over to you. Please help us.
So, thank you very much for this nice introduction. We are going to present today our use case on development of randomization and trial supply management, formerly known as IWRS or RTSM system, and to discuss one particular use case. So please go forward. Before we start, I will tell a couple of words about randomization, about drug supply management, inventory management, just simply for helicopter perspective, not to go into very details of statistical background. When you are developing a system that should support and automatize those procedures, first you have to think about randomization itself. What is it? So there are basic randomization approach, such as stratification, randomization. Then you have to consider a different type of masking. If the study is open label, single blind, double blind, triple blind, then you have to think from scientific and workflow perspective which kind of randomization is the most suitable for my type of a trial. Just briefly for the audience, I believe everybody knows, but to recollect that open label is, for example, that there is no masking within trial. Everybody knows which treatment is given to which patient. Then there is single blind randomization single blind trial setup where the patient don't know which type of medication or intervention he or she have received, and it's double blind where the investigator and patient don't know which type of randomization is, which type of investigational product or kit is randomized to them, and there is a triple blind, one of the most complex to set up, triple blind setup where nobody knows which type of treatment is given to a patient until final statistical analysis is done. From perspective of stratification, there are several types of basic randomization, such as simple randomization, when we don't use any stratification, no strata. This is good for large trial with large number of patients, but in smaller trial, it may lead to imbalance and it may endanger end result. Then there is like block randomization that is constructed to prevent those imbalances and to reduce risk of bias. Usually you have like 4 to 6 patients per block with different kind of stratification. Then regarding stratification, it's important to know that we can stratify patients usually by age, gender, disease, properties, sometimes site location, sometimes various lab test result. Then there is adaptive randomization where we are setting up the system to adjust the treatment allocation, usually based on some interim study result. And there are enforced randomization, for example, where the treatment allocation is enforced by availability at the site at this particular moment. Please, then next slide. When we are setting up the system, developing everything, setting up everything within our environment, then we have to understand which kind of kits and labeling we are going to use, and there are some already standardized approaches where you can, for example, implement randomization trial supply with pre-label kit, what basically mean that the bulk shipment of investigational kits are delivered to the site, but this pre-delivery of bulk shipment, so large quantity of medication, can lead to ways of investigation of product, and down the line with problems with accountability. Then there is ad hoc labeling, where the study staff prepare kits per randomization flow. Then there are generalized kits, for example, where the treatment assignment is flowing from the stock. And if someone wants to apply such kind of kit labeling, they absolutely need a robust randomization trial supply management to assign the kits as per randomization and treatment with dose and with strength. There are different kind of customized kits for complex dosing, where the kits are prepared and labeled per strata. For example, weight-based dosing. Then there is direct-to-patient kits, where this type of randomization follows usually in decentralized, larger clinical trials, where you absolutely need robust tracking of all logistic, temperature chain, monitoring, and all the compliances. Then next slide. Regarding the kit management, you always have to think about inventory tracking to know in every moment what is the kit status, how many kits are allocated, damaged, not damaged. Some kits may be expired, some kits may be destroyed during application process or during giving the kit to the patient. Then you have to implement automatic resupply. That means that you need absolutely real-time stock monitoring and real-time notification across whole chain, starting from investigation site, pharmacy, transportation service, sponsor, direct packaging. Then you have to take into account temperature and expiry management, which can be particularly tricky, and it's of exceptional importance. Then when the trial is finalized, you have to perform all accountability procedures to collect all unused kits and return to the manufacturer, and maintain the records of IP destruction, so investigation project destruction down the line. Next slide, please. To having everything what I have mentioned set up with our system, there are always some challenges that we have to address. For example, we have to think always on some technical issues and system downtime due to unforeseen glitches that may potentially disrupt randomization and disperse tracking of key status. Then always we have to take into account some staff resistance to change in whole complex clinical trial setup, because everything what is new will require some education, some time to adaptation, some time to training. Then there are a lot of data security and privacy issues, because RTSM handling sensitive data, we have to fulfill all electronic compliance requirements. There is also necessity to integrate with other systems, just for example laboratory, where this can arise some compatibility issues, and in this case it's always best to choose some systems that are already perform such kind of complex integration. And of course we have to think about the cost and resource requirements, and this kind of interoperable system can always reduce time, reduce money, reduce overall cost, and effectively run the trial from the beginning to the end. And the most important is that the users have always from one login, one system, and all operation can be performed within one environment. So thank you very much. This is in short about technical and scientific backbone, and I will leave the word to my fellow colleague, Dr. Viraj Patel.
Thank you, Nicola, for the basic introduction about the different type of randomization and kit management using the RTSM system. And now we'll likely jump into the real case study wherein we conducted this study with the challenges we came across to our sponsored partner. So the study was very simple. By looking after the protocol title, we consider it's a very simple study, and we have conducted many studies for this type of design. But once we dive into the IP requirement, supply management, once we start the discussion on this part in detail with the sponsor, we came to know the new approach we need to follow. That was new for us. Yeah, that was the generalized kits preparation plan. So, yeah, that was the challenge given by a sponsor, how we can manage the IP supply and the kit preparation using this generalized kit approach. Some of the audience might not be aware about that, but in case you want the more details on that, we'll be happy to answer on that, how we can follow the general kit approach. So according to the requirements set by the sponsor, first we set the objective. And the objective of that, along with the IP kit management, packaging, we need to maintain the blinding, right? For the taste and reference, even we need to maintain the balancing of the taste and reference across the sample size, right? And the initial comment that we should support the dose titration according to our threshold criteria, that was the HbA1c, and it should be more than 5% or less than 5%. So according to that, system should pick the appropriate IP from the available stock at the site. Even though we need to start the subject with the 3 mg, then we'll go by default at 7 mg. Thereafter, for the follow-up visit, it should move to back or continue with the same dose until the end of treatment. So we need to adjust for the HbA1c threshold, as well as need to also check about the de-escalation. If there is a HbA1c low less than 7.5%, we need to trigger patients is eligible to go back to the de-escalation, or in case of tolerance, we need to discontinue the patient at the some criteria. So all these factors were set in the objective, and we start working on the development of this new feature. Although our system is very flexible, and we know a randomization process is not as simple. Each and every study may have the different requirement, different challenges. Even though our system is flexible, still we see that this could be the new addition into our system, and we accept this challenge and we develop it with the generalized kit approach. Yeah, next. Uh, yeah, that could be some pros and cons for each and every process. With the generalized kit approach, we have some pros along with the cons as well. If we talk on the pros, that may reduce the waste of the IP and will save the many IP, because we don't need to prepare the kit as per the subject. So that's not need to prepare the entire set of kit for all the widget in one box for the same patient. So because we are going to follow the generalized kit approach. So what is the kit available at the site, that should be assigned by to the patient. So yeah, it is also very simplify the logistic challenges, because we need less number of IP supply to the site as compared to standard process. It also gives the flexibility to adapt the dose escalation, de-escalation, because site system need to pick the appropriate dose from the stock available at the site, right? And according to the dose selected at the particular visit. It also support the blinding. It's very cost effective, because we see that we can save multiple reference IPs as compared to standard one. But there is this also come with some cons, like it is very complex in the back end, because that could be a possibility that system may assign the wrong dose based on the data entry, or wrong data entry, or maybe change in the data. So we should have the 100% control on the some important data field that should not change once it is entered. Or if it is changed or required to change, system should reassign the next available kit according to the randomization or the dose preference. So that was always be a practical issue, that site may create the mistake in the data entry, but our system should be flexible to reassign the kit. That is, and to like to destroy, or the to keep this particular assigned kit into the background so that that will not be reused to the other patient. So that is a complexity of this approach, but for that we should have the appropriate backend configuration. So system should control that requirement. It is, yeah, what the methodology we apply for the randomization. So, as per the design, that was a block randomization. We apply for the pod by pod block randomization between the test and reference to manage the appropriate blinding. And we implemented this system to assign the unique randomization number and kit with the, and by default, system should start assigning the 3mg kit from the randomization widget. So a stock could be available at site up to 7mg or 14mg, but by default, according to the widget selection, system should give the appropriate dose at that widget. And the kit preparation was also important to identify the kit from A and from B, because for each and every patient or test and component, that was the placebo was associated to enhance the blinding. So that's why kit A and kit B was prepared for a test and corresponding placebo, and the reference with corresponding placebo. Yeah, how we apply our methodology for the kit preparation. So we designed the kit that is with 28 plus 2 plus or minus 2 days, considering the 5 extra, because patient may come late, but we should not stop the IP, right? So if patient is using the plus window period, patient should have the appropriate IP in place. So that's why we prepare the kit of 35 tablets for each and every visit, or according to the duration of the visit. And we also consider the preparation or dose titration at the visit 2, visit 3, and all other follow-up according to that records. Now that help us to dispense the kit according to the requirement. For example, in case patient site A, there are more patient randomized into the day, or into the particular what I can say, more patients are randomized. So we can also plan the dispensing of more IP of the next visit at their site. So that is also flexible to use the IP according to the requirement. So will our IP will not be wasted at the non-recruiting or the less recruiting site as well. Yes, next. Our packaging would follow according to the standard requirement, right? And according to the, we also provided the instruction to the patient how to take the tablet as well. Yes, next. And what were the configuration challenges and how we overcome that? And as we discussed, IP stock should be available at the site. If there is some threshold of site quantity, we should have the appropriate trigger notification to the pharmacies that the IP is less expected, so that they can start preparing the IP supply management. And we need to ensure that appropriate IP of first initial dose, that was 3mg, should be available at the site appropriately, so that once randomized patient is randomized, they should have this 3mg kit available. We manage the around 2860 kit and multiple dispensing uh, to timely preparing this kit and timely dispense the kit at the site. We set the real-time notification. That was very important to notify each and every study team members that particular patient is now randomized, allocated kit number, and the hyperlink of that particular link to open the exact location of the page that the user or receiver can get the data is appropriately entered and the kit is allocated appropriately. And we also customized our system according to requirements, such study-specific requirement as well as regulatory requirement, and GEM5 compliant was also follow. Yeah, and there was one of the major challenge that we were expecting that recruitment will go very, very fast, considering with the uh, this product is very important for the sponsor. So we are expecting recruitment will go very fast. Based on that, we also configure the performance of the system, and that was planned within 3 weeks. 236 patients were already randomized. Yeah, along with that, some even after doing the lot of testing, lot of backend configurations, we face minor glitches into the system, and that should we should also discuss on that. So this kind of testing can be done at our end in the next level of studies or other studies, or this may also help attendee to look after this kind of issues while doing the testing as well. So first was that a concurrency issue. Like we never assume that on the single site the user can randomize the patient within 1 or 2 seconds, but it was happen. We can't control the site user, right? Because it may happen that that user open the two pay subject in the different tab and they start entering the randomization, uh, and it was happen within 4 to 5 seconds. Sorry, 1 to 2 seconds. So that was not actually evaluated at the time of UAT, but it was happened, and we have taken the prompt action, and we have released some patch to run the system effectively. And there was a one concurrent um, step was added. Once one process is continued, and another process should not be started on the same field. So that avoided the further concurrence issue later on in the study. Next. Another minor issue was happened about the randomization configuration. Like even though that was not followed as per the stratification, right? Even though there was no any impact on the randomization, but we see randomization numbering was not in the sequence, right? And that was not checked actually during the UAT, but later on we found this particular non-desirable pattern, and we identify and we set the appropriate logic, and we improve the journey of this particular process, randomization process for the remaining patient. So important thing is that we need to think that could be a possibility to randomize to randomize the patient within 1 or 2 seconds. It's not the ideal process because maybe this site may have the data and the source, but they start entering the data in the same time. So we need to think that level of the testing during the setup of RTSM. What are the outcome of this? So we maintained the blinding throughout the study. There was no any unusual pattern of cases for that. We increased the operational efficiency by streamlining the process of dose escalation, dose retitration, and discontinuation due to intolerance, and according to the HbA1c criteria. System allocated the treatment according to the requirement. We prepare the robust documentation for each and every cases, even before the setup and after the setup, what are the issues happen. We have done the appropriate documentation on time and communicate with the sponsor. And finally, we maintain the compliance and the flexibility because it is very critical process, and we know it should go or it must go with the inspection. So we were very aware about that, and we have the fully proof documents in place, and that is followed for all our studies. Next. So now what was the conclusion? So we demonstrate that we can manage the such type of requirement, that is a generalized kit approach, and our system is very, very flexible and scalable to manage this kind of requirement and with the 100% compliance, or that's it.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Dr.
over
Nicola.
to Raj. Thank you very much
Yeah,
for the idea.
thank you, Dr. Nicola. Thank you, Dr. Dheeraj. And I'm sure many of us don't even realize that how Omnia RTSM can handle such complex IWRS scenarios and with such a ease from kit management to emergency unblinding and still keeping the things audit ready. And it is incredible, and honestly the candid feedback from you and candid case study with all pros and cons, uh, it is definitely the rap team's clinical operation management excellence and your data management capability with the capability of omnia's services that you guys are capable of handling 236 subjects and recruitment within 18 days and randomization and with management of 2,860 kit management and still able to close the study in I think it was 4 day. Am I right, Dr. Dheeraj?
Yeah, within 4 days, after last patient, last visit, we'll able to
Yeah,
close
so
it.
you guys just make it like walking in the park, so technically and efficient. Uh, so it is clear that when technology, data, and experience comes together, like Velocious, Remodu, and Raptime, magic happens definitely. So let's take some questions now, and we'll the first question is to just update you guys. We are having more than 34 people in LinkedIn and multiple people in YouTube also. So almost 100, 200 people are watching us live. So first question is that how does IWRS ensure blinding in double blinded studies? Dr. Nicola, I would like you to answer this.
Yes, thank you very much for this question. We have implemented a specific access controls where the system provide only information to those personnel that have designated role and that are finding themselves in particular institution or organization within a trial. So this is truly tested and it is configurable, and only the persons that have appropriate role within a trial, appropriate role within organization and within the module can see and perform actions such as unblinding, blinding, shipment, kit shipment to one site to another site, treatment allocation, and it is everything covered with really robust but flexible system support.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Nicola. And the second question is to Dr. Dheeraj. How does Omnia RTSM support multinational sites with different labeling languages?
Yes, that was really very good question to manage the multinational studies. And fortunately, we have the process in place, system in place that can handle the multiple language. That is the multilingual tools is available. We can manage the multiple. Already the language management is there, so we can configure it, and we are able to do it using the multinational studies.
Okay, thank you for the answer. And the third question is coming. How does IWRS handle those titration based on lab results? Is there any way?
Dr. Diraj, do you want to
Yes,
answer?
yes. As we discussed during this session, we know HbA1c value was the critical parameter, and based on that, system should assign the appropriate kit and dose about the value. Like if more than 7.5, it should go with the next level. If less than 7.5, it should go continue with the same dose. So that was the important parameter, and we have kept the control. Basically need to keep the control on the particular data point, important data point, so that it could not change. But if it change, we should have the backup procedure to manage the wrong entry or the wrong assignment of the kit. So that was well taken care, and each and everyone should ensure the system should have the backup of that kind of reassignment in case, because we don't have the control on the site entry. Sometimes it may happen, right?
Yep,
But
exactly.
backup process should always be there to reassign the kit.
And just to
Yeah,
So
short
thank you.
from short add-on from my side, this shows also importance of interoperability and capability to integrate laboratory data as well, either decentralized or centralized, and make fully automatic procedure. So that reduced possibility for mistakes and automatize randomization procedures from one single point of contact. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Nicola and Dr. Dheeraj. I think you guys have really well answered the question. And the next question is similar to that line. Uh, what happens if a subject is intolerant to a dose? Dr. Nicola or Dr. Dheeraj, anyone can answer.
This is more clinical question than
Let
technical question.
Yeah. Okay, we'll answer it later on. And
okay.
Or
Let me answer it first. Sorry.
yeah,
What happened with the entrance to the dose, right? It depending on the type of product. If we are working on the diabetic product, it may happen with the hypoglycemia, right? If you are working on the cardiovascular or the antihypertensive product, hypertension can happen. So that is also one kind of influence or maybe known side effect of the product. So we were about that for our study. The known side effect was the gastro intestinal related problem. So if there is a repetitive gastrointestinal problem or the events happen, we came to know that the product is intolerant to the patients.
okay. Next question, Dr. Nicola, you might be the right person. That how is the data security maintained in IWRS?
we are implementing multiple security protocols starting from a basic front end, then across data transmission over the internet, then on the level of database, multiple encryptions, and of course everything with role-based access management. Once more, it's a complex setup, but we have made it really straightforward and really simple. So you have to consider multiple technical perspectives such as encryption, but also workflow perspectives such as access management to different part of the system, study, server, interface, network, etc.
Okay, okay. Well appreciated the answer. And as we told at the beginning of the event that we are fully compliant with global regulatory uh, authorities. And one more question to Dr. Dheeraj. Uh, how are the kit designed to prevent the dispensing errors? Is there any way in our system?
Yeah, in the system, we given the instruction, the format of the kit, right? And that was like identified with the A and B because our test was associated placebo. So we need to identify the product by while maintaining the blinding also. So because 2860 kit was there, so that was very challenge to naming convention of the kit as well as to provide the instruction with the short space because we can't use the major ledger space. So we created multiple template for that, and we finalized one of the best template to present the kit labeling, and that also that should be suitable with the patient to understand the doses requirement, how, when to take the dose, and how what and what amount of the dosing should be taken and what time. So that was very finalized after the multiple preparation.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you, Dr. Dheeraj and Nicola. I think we have answered multiple questions, and If anything comes after that, even this is my request to audience. If you guys have any question right now, you can type on the chat box or in message box of the LinkedIn. We will try to answer that. And even if after this session, you can go through the our YouTube page, Vimudu Velicious, everyone's, and you can watch this session and keep posting your questions. We will answer each question which we receive, and we'll definitely come back to you. So, all right, I think we cover most of the things, and please feel free to drop any queries if you guys have. And
Thank you very
before that,
much.
yeah,
Thank you.
stay
Thank you.
connected
Thank
because
you very
you're
much.
right. Every
Thank you
successful
all.
clinical trial, there is a team of experts quietly making sure no one messes up the kit. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Great day.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you
Bye.
everyone for your time. Bye. Take care.